Here are the details for your selection. Countries involved: United States, Ukraine, Sudan, potentially others in the context of diaspora African candidates. Common themes analysis. Theme 1. Donald Trump's presidency and its international implications. What happened? Multiple news snippets describe reactions to Donald Trump's election as U.S. president-elect, including international congratulatory messages and analyses of his potential foreign policy decisions. Context: this theme is framed within the period immediately following Trump's election victory. This is a time of significant uncertainty about his future policy direction and its global ramifications. Persons of interest. Donald Trump is central. Other figures include Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's president, Gaston Brown, Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, and Kamala Harris. Significance: the events highlight the global impact of a U.S. presidential election and the anticipation, concern, or hope surrounding Trump's incoming administration's foreign policy approach. Reactions vary from congratulatory messages, Brown, to expressions of cautious optimism, Zelensky suggesting a quicker end to the Ukraine conflict. There's also implied concern reflected in articles exploring the future of U.S. support for Ukraine and Sudan under Trump. Possible causes: Trump's election victory was the catalyst for all the reactions and analyses included here. His past rhetoric and policy proposals contributed to the anticipation about his presidency. Possible outcomes: the possible outcomes are numerous and uncertain, depending on Trump's actual policies concerning Ukraine, Sudan, and other countries. The uncertainty surrounding his policies creates a significant global impact. Region: global, North America, Africa, Eastern Europe. Theme 2. The use of technology in security. Specific incident. What happened? Robot dogs were deployed at Mar-a-Lago for security purposes. Context: this occurred shortly after Trump's election, during his transition to office, and in the context of heightened security concerns around the president-elect. Persons of interest. Donald Trump, as the protected individual, and the unspecified law enforcement agencies deploying the robots. Significance: this highlights the use of emerging technology in security and the adaptation of methods in response to concerns about security and safety in a politically sensitive environment. Region: United States, Florida specifically. Incident: deployment of robot dogs at Mar-a-Lago. Theme 3. U.S. politics and diaspora involvement. Specific incident. What happened? An increased number of diaspora Africans ran for office in the U.S. election, concurrent with the Trump-Harris election contest. Context: this falls within the broader context of the 2020 U.S. election and ongoing discussions of representation and diversity in American politics. Persons of interest. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, and the unnamed diaspora African candidates. Significance: this event touches upon themes of immigration, representation, and diversity in U.S. politics. Region: United States. Incident: increased African diaspora political participation in the U.S. election. Conclusion: the provided texts highlight a range of reactions and concerns associated with Donald Trump's incoming presidency, touching upon global implications, security measures, and shifts in the U.S. political landscape. The lack of extensive details about specific policy proposals prevents a more definitive conclusion regarding long-term effects. However, the selected texts clearly showcase the multifaceted responses and anticipations surrounding this period of transition in U.S. politics. Here are the details for your selection. Countries involved: Germany, Russia, Ukraine, United States. Common themes. Theme 1. German-Russian relations amidst the Ukraine war. What happened? Multiple phone calls took place between German Chancellor Olaf Sholz and Russian President Vladimir Putin, marking the first such conversations in 2 years. Discussions focused on the war in Ukraine. Context: the calls occurred against the backdrop of the ongoing Russo-Ukrainian war, creating significant geopolitical tension. Persons of interest. Olaf Sholz, Germany, Vladimir Putin, Russia. Significance: these calls represent attempts at diplomatic engagement despite strained relations due to the invasion of Ukraine. They indicate a need for Germany to navigate its relationship with Russia while supporting Ukraine. Reaction: the reaction to the calls varied, depending on the perspective. Some viewed him as a positive step towards de-escalation, while others were critical, questioning the effectiveness of dialogue with Putin. Possible causes: The need for Germany to address the humanitarian crisis and wider ramifications of the war likely motivated the calls. Economic factors relating to energy and trade might have also played a role. Possible outcomes: the calls could potentially lead to further diplomatic efforts, humanitarian aid negotiations, or shifts in Germany's stance on sanctions. Alternatively, they could prove ineffective, with no tangible changes in Russia's actions. Theme 2. Germany's domestic and international challenges. What happened? Germany faced internal political instability and external pressures from potential trade conflicts. Context: a collapsing German government is juxtaposed with threats of a trade war initiated by the United States under the Trump administration. Persons of interest: Olaf Sholz, Germany; Donald Trump, US. Significance: these events highlight the complex challenges Germany faces, maintaining domestic political stability while navigating international relations and economic pressures. Reaction: the looming trade war prompted concerns about the German economy, likely influencing public opinion and political discourse within Germany. Possible causes: internal political divisions within the German government and the unpredictable foreign policies of the Trump administration contribute to these challenges. Possible outcomes: the potential for successful navigation of the trade conflict or escalation remain possible outcomes. The collapse of the government could lead to new elections and policy shifts. Region: Europe. Incident: the Russo-Ukrainian War, potential US-German trade war, German political instability. Conclusion: the provided texts highlight Germany's precarious position amidst the Ukraine conflict and its complex relationship with both Russia and the United States. The need to balance domestic stability with international relations and economic concerns is a recurring theme. The outcomes of the described events will significantly impact Germany's future trajectory and its role in global affairs.